Hey there and welcome to our video on the importance of planning a budget before going on a trip around the world. Traveling around the world can be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but it can also be an expensive one. To ensure that you get the most out of your trip and avoid running out of money unexpectedly, it is crucial to plan your budget beforehand. Section 1. Understanding the benefits of planning a budget for a round-the-world trip. Planning your budget can help you to 1. Avoid overspending. Without a budget, it's easy to get carried away and overspend on accommodation, food, transport, and other expenses along the way. A budget will enable you to manage your money better and stick to a spending plan. 2. Prioritize expenses. Budgeting can also help you to prioritize your expenses. For example, you may want to splurge on a fancy meal one night, but you might need to cut back on other expenses to make it fit into your budget. A spending plan will allow you to make such trade-offs. 3. Minimize stress. Travel can be stressful, but financial strain can make it even worse. By planning a budget, you'll be able to avoid worrying about money as you travel, making the experience more enjoyable. Section 2. Tips for planning your budget. Now that you know the benefits of budgeting, let's look at tips for creating a realistic budget for a round-the-world trip. 1. Research your destinations. All destinations have different costs that can vary greatly. Researching the cost of living in each country will help you understand which ones might be more expensive to visit and will allow you to plan accordingly. 2. Optimize your travel expenses. Planning your travel expenses ahead of time can also save you money. Outline your transportation needs, e.g. flights, trains, and buses, so you can have a rough estimate of the costs and find deals that will fit into your budget. 3. Set a daily spending limit. To keep yourself in check, setting a daily spending limit will make it easier to stay within your budget instead of going overboard. 4. Emergencies. Prepare for emergencies by setting aside a cushion in your budget, taking into account unforeseen expenses like healthcare or lost items such as luggage. Planning your budget before embarking on a round-the-world trip is essential to ensure that you enjoy your trip without worrying about running out of money or overspending. It requires thorough research of your destinations and budget-friendly decision-making that includes a bit of flexibility for any emergencies. We hope this guide was helpful and you enjoy your trip without any money worries. Your travel style. When it comes to travel, everyone has their own style, preferences, and budgeting abilities. However, it can be challenging to decide on a travel style that fits your budget and personality. In this section, we'll be giving you some helpful tips and tricks on identifying your travel style, understanding different types of budget travelers, and budgeting for your preferred type of travel. Part 1. Understanding different types of budget travelers. There are 3 types of budget travelers: backpackers, flashpackers, and relaxation seekers. Backpackers are those who travel on a shoestring budget, staying in hostels, eating street food, and traveling overland. Flashpackers are somewhere in the middle, seeking an element of luxury such as upgraded accommodations, meals, and transportation while still trying to keep travel expenses down. Relaxation seekers tend to splurge on all the nice things in life, such as spa treatments, fine dining, and high-end accommodations. Part 2. Deciding on your travel style. To decide on your travel style, consider your preferences, travel expectations, and budget. Ask yourself some questions about what you want out of your travel experience. If you want more of a backpacker's experience, then focus on money-saving tips on accommodation, transportation, and food. If you want to elevate your experience to flashpacking, or a little luxurious travel style, then prioritize low-cost activities and tours that can help you budget for the flashier accommodations. If you're like most people, seeking a more relaxing getaway, start by researching the best deals or discounts available for accommodation and luxury experiences. Part 3. Budgeting for your preferred travel style. No matter what style of travel you choose, budgeting is important to ensure you don't overspend, break the bank, and end up with a financial hangover after your trip. First, determine your travel expenses, including your transportation, accommodation, activities, food, and any other miscellaneous costs. Consider creating a budget spreadsheet to keep you on track with your expenses and allocate how much you want to spend on each item. Remember, Budgeting does not mean cutting out all the fun. It means being aware and choosing to make wise choices within your budget. Congratulations! You've learned how to identify your travel style and budget accordingly. Always remember, every traveler is unique, so don't compare your travel experience to others. Plan and budget according to your preferences and personality. Researching your destination costs. It's essential to understand the cost of living in different countries, as this can heavily impact your daily expenses. In this section, we'll cover how to identify factors that affect daily expenses, research local transportation, accommodations, and dining costs, and budget for different activities. Part 1. Understanding the cost of living in different countries. The cost of living varies widely from country to country, and it's important to know the cost of living in the country you plan to visit. One of the best ways to get an idea of the cost of living is to research the country's GDP and its exchange rate to your home currency. Once you know the country's exchange rate, you can easily calculate how much your daily expenses will be, such as food, transportation, and activities. Part 2. Identifying factors that affect daily expenses. Your daily expenses can differ depending on the country you're visiting and your travel preferences. The factors that can affect your daily expenses include your accommodation of choice, how much you're willing to spend on food, type of transportation, and planned activities. To manage your travel budget effectively, it's essential to consider all the factors mentioned above while researching your destination. Part 3. Researching local transportation, accommodations, and dining costs. When researching local transportation, consider what options are available in your destination, such as buses, trains, taxis, and ride-sharing services. For accommodation, set a budget and search for the best deals according to your preferences, whether a hostel, hotel, or vacation rental. Dining is another significant expense during travel. Look for local eateries to get a taste of the culture while keeping your wallet in check. Don't forget to read online reviews, ask for recommendations, or check with travel agencies for the most updated local prices. Part 4. Budgeting for different activities. Different activities will have different costs, so research your planned activities and their associated costs in advance. Create a travel budget spreadsheet that includes difficult information, for instance, entrance fees, transportation costs, and touring necessities. When moving to an area, look to low-cost or free activities such as visiting local cultural sites or outdoor scenery, take a picnic or pack a lunch to save on dining expenses, or creating your walking tour instead of booking a guided tour. Remembering to research destination costs is key to planning a budget-friendly trip, avoiding financial stress during your journey. By understanding the cost of living, identifying daily expenses factors, researching transportation, accommodations, and dining costs, as well as budgeting for different activities, you can enjoy your trip fully. Budgeting essentials. Whether you're planning a trip, or looking to manage your personal expenses, budgeting is crucial. In this section, we're going to give you tips on how to set a trip budget and track expenses, create a savings plan, identify budget-friendly strategies while traveling, and use technology to save money. Section 1. Setting a trip budget and tracking expenses. When you're planning a trip, setting a budget is essential. Start by creating a list of all the expenses you'll incur while traveling. This can include airfares, accommodation, transportation, food, excursions, and souvenirs, etc. Group your expenses into categories so that it is easy to track and monitor. Once you have a list, create a budget for each category. Consider reducing expenses that may not be a priority during your trip. Track your expenses every day using a budgeting app or even on a spreadsheet. This will help you stay on top of your spending and avoid overspending. Section 2. Creating a savings plan. Saving money is crucial for reaching your financial goals. Creating a savings plan will help you save money more intentionally. To create one, start by setting a savings goal. This could be a percentage of your income or a specific amount you want to save for your trip goals. Review your expenses and consider ways to cut costs on non-priority items. Though this may be difficult initially, it can help you reach your savings goal faster. Consider using a high-yield savings account or investment options to maximize your savings. Section 3. Identifying budget-friendly strategies while traveling. When you're traveling, it's essential to identify budget-friendly strategies to save your money. Some of the ways to do so include: 1. Accommodation. Instead of staying at luxury hotels, consider budget-friendly alternatives like villas, Airbnb, or hostels. Consider the location and proximity from the city center and other attractions. Transportation. Consider taking public transportation rather than choosing expensive cab rides. Consider renting a bicycle or walking in areas when it is safe to do so. 3. Meals. Try the local food and street food options rather than dining at expensive restaurants. Consider bringing snacks and food for days when you might spend a lot of time on the move. Section 4. Using technology to save money. Technology can be a powerful tool to save money, especially when traveling. Here are some recommended apps that can help you. 1. Skyscanner. Skyscanner helps you get the best airfare for multiple airlines. You can also set price alerts for specific flights. 2. Airbnb. This app provides budget-friendly accommodation options. 3. Google Maps. Google Maps can help you navigate local transportation systems and help you on your walk or bike ride around the city. 4. Grocery delivery apps. Delivery apps like Instacart and Postmates can help you get groceries, meals, and keep your budget in check. Budgeting is essential, and we hope that these tips can be helpful when planning your next trip or managing your expenses. Remember to track your expenses regularly, create a savings plan, identify budget-friendly options while traveling, and leverage technology to save money.